Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? I just needed to break away from the bad stuff and just get back to my normal self and speak on something that I really wanted to talk about. And that is cooking from scratch, something that I absolutely love to do. It can sometimes be overwhelming, and I get that, especially if you have a busy, chaotic life, like I once did, having the kids living at home and the grandkids living at home and stuff like that. But now that it's just me and Sean, yeah, I can get back to my roots and cooking from scratch once again. And, that's something that I absolutely love to do. Like tonight for dinner, I made ham and cabbage and potatoes and green beans, and I haven't made that in so long. And just the first bite, I was like, oh, I miss this. It was one of those. But there's more to cooking from scratch than, just grilling a hamburger on the grill or making ham and cabbage. It can be using a recipe from your parents or your grandparents, or just cooking the way that just comes naturally to you, or that's based on your diet or what you have in your pantry. And there are like a few things that I must have, like, in my house at all times, like that type of thing. But please keep in mind that when something I use all the time goes on sale, I stock my freezer with it, or my fridge, or my pantry, and I know that you guys do the same thing. Also, today's video is not about any particular diet. I'm not on a diet. I don't do keto or Atkins or vegan or anything like that. I just go with what comes naturally. So today is about saving money and knowing what you are cooking from scratch is really good for you. In other words, good, wholesome food is what I strive for when I'm cooking from scratch. Many of the items that I'm going to be talking about, I would consider staples, since I know a lot of you guys have them. I know I have them in my house. They're always on hand for homemade meals. And another good thing about cooking from scratch is that you can use substitutes in a recipe on what's in the fridge, what's in the pantry that needs to be used, right? Like one thing that you can like use in, like when you're baking, instead of using oil, you can use applesauce, like that type of thing. So in my freezer, there are items that I always have stocked, right? Butter, bacon, frozen veg, whatever it is, whether it's peas, carrots, broccoli, onions, peppers, whatever the case may be. Okay. Meats of all different kinds, whether it's ground beef, whether it's turkey, whether it's chicken. Um, let's see, what else do I have in there? Ham. Um, I always have pork roast of some kind, whether it's pork roast or beef roast. I have Cornish hens. I've got, oh, girls, don't make me go out to the freezer right now, but you get it. Flour tortillas I like to have, because what I do is like I'll take my leftovers and I'll make burritos out of them. Okay. Broccoli is always, I already said broccoli, but I always do broccoli because I am a sucker for broccoli cheddar soup. And I found a way to make it taste exactly like Panera. Yeah. My daughter-in-law, she has this recipe that is to die for. And she puts poblano peppers in it. When I tell you, it is amazing. Yes. Um, the next thing that I always keep in is fast rising yeast, a dough enhancer, stuff like that for when I'm making my breads. Um, Now in the pantry, okay, I always have AP flour or all-purpose flour, white sugar, brown sugar, powdered sugar, honey, lemon juice, salt, oil of all kind. I have olive oil, coconut oil, peanut oil, veg oil. baking soda, baking powder, oatmeal, quick oats, okay, because I use those for when I'm making the dog's treats. Mayo. Um, I have a good stock of mayo, but I make my homemade mayo, which I keep in the fridge. I make a lot of my own condiments. Mustard. I make my own barbecue sauce, and I can it. Ketchup, beans of all sorts. When I tell you, okay, unsweetened cocoa for my baking, popcorn, vanilla extract, herbs like a son of a gun. Okay, we all have our favorites, right on. Canned chicken, canned tuna, maple syrup, peanut butter, jams of all kinds because I do my own jams and jellies, sauces, spaghetti sauce because I can my own Sunday sauce and my own pesto sauce. Um, let's see, diced tomatoes because I jar up my own tomatoes and basil. Chicken and beef bouillon. I make my own veg bouillon, cream of chicken soup, cream of tomato soup, cream of mushroom soup. Also, the broccoli cheddar soup, I keep that on hand too from when I'm doing casseroles. Chicken noodle soup, for emergencies if one of the little ones is feeling a little, has a tummy ache. White rice, pasta, gelatin, canned fruits, canned veg, corn syrup, sweetened condensed milk, vinegar. Either I always have white vinegar, apple cider vinegar, and balsamic as well. Potatoes and different kinds of broths, whether it's bone broth, chicken broth, beef broth, and it's the broths that I make for when I'm cooking, and I keep it and I can it. All right. So the next thing is what's in the fridge. Always have the eggs, the milk, the butter. My milk, I always do powdered milk, but when the kids are here, I whip up some powdered milk with ice water, and I put it in the fridge for their cereals. Sour cream and cream cheese, mostly shredded cheddar and mozzarella. Fresh fruits and veg, what's in season, okay? Excuse me. And then these are the kitchen tools that I cannot live without, okay? This is what, helps me, with my cooking and also with my preparations. My bread maker, I have two different kinds of whisks. I have a metal whisk and I have a silicone whisk. Spatulas, my griddle, I have a plug-in tabletop griddle, my Instapot, my soup vat, I have my frying pan, I have my Dutch oven, uh, cookie sheets, muffin tins, my food processor, my crock pot, and obviously my can opener. So this is just what I need for my everyday basics, for my pantry, so I can, so I can function. And I know that's really sad, but it's so true. Would I be able to survive in a grid down? You darn straight I could. But, this is what my everyday life is. Okay. So I hope that my video today helps someone learn the joy of cooking from scratch. Um, would I love to do some cooking videos for you? I would. But, I don't know what you guys like. You know what I mean? So throw some ideas at me on what you would like to see me cook, and I'll do it for you. Okay. So I feel that we should be teaching the world to eat at home again. I really do. Teaching people to cook, set the table, learn matters, keep your elbows off the damn table. You know what I mean? Manners at the table, clean up as a family. It can be done. Okay. Stay away from the fucking fast food and the drive through. Part of the fun and the challenge is to make a menu plan and use a list when you go grocery shopping. It saves you money, it saves you time, and it prompts you to look ahead at the week's meals and how best to prepare for them. It's about teaching the next generation the skills that we learned as kids watching our grandma. and our moms in the kitchen whipping up those awesome meals that we remember, and smelling those amazing smells that bring us back to our childhoods. Remember on Sundays? Do you remember when the family would get together and Nona or your grandmom would be whipping up that sauce with the meatballs and the homemade breads and the homemade pastas? I remember my Nona, and I would sit next to her and she'd go, Mangia, mangia. That means eat in Italian. Mangia gypsy, manja gypsy. Yeah, that's what my childhood was every Sunday. And that's what I brought to the table with my family. I just hope that you were able to bring the same with yours. Thank you for being prepared for the unexpected. It's been a wild ride, right? No one can take care of your family as well as you can. All right, guys, I'm out of here. All right. I will see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fear less. Ciao.